الهدف هو التميز. الهدف هو الإبداع. لرؤية العالم بعدسة جديدة.
This camera is amazing. Hands down. This is my initial impressions. This camera is amazing. But let me tell you why. From a filmmaker's perspective. So, first of all, as I go into this review, I just want to bring something from a filmmaker's point of view that are really important, that stand out in terms of the features of this camera. We rented this camera for a showreel shoot that I did with a startup production house that I'm collaborating with, and this camera has stood against everything I threw at it. As a director and also a cinematographer, I know that this camera is capable of anything. Shoot a commercial with it, shoot a short film with it, shoot anything you want with it, shoot a vlog with it, shoot a YouTube video. There is no constraint. Once you get this, you are capable of shooting anything you want. I want to talk about the weight. The weight of this camera is really good for what it does. I came from a GH5 on this one, and to be honest, this is lighter than my GH5 even with this huge I have a 16-35 G Master lens on this one. We shot also the showreel with the 24-70. We shot it with the FE90 macro lens using the Laowa Venus Optics, that probe lens, and amazingly, this camera's light. I mean, to be honest, the lens really makes it heavy if it does, but not the body itself. Talking about the flip screen, amazing. The rolling shutter, what we call this, is basically, to let you guys know who don't know what it is, a rolling shutter is basically when you get the camera, like you whiz it from left to right, whipping it and kind of doing these fast movements. There is this jello effect that happens with this. I didn't notice it. With every single move we did with any kind of like fast movement or anything, very good because of the fast readout of the sensor. Really nice with this. The menu system of this thing is amazing. It is easy to use. Coming from a GH5, one thing I loved about the GH5 is, which I did not like about the A7 III, was the menu system. And they kind of made it as good, if not better. Dynamic range of this thing is so good. Like, we could shoot in any kind of harsh conditions with this thing. Man, shooting an S-Log3 with this thing, because of the 10-bit colors in this thing and the dynamic range, all of you combine that in terms of cinematography standpoint, this camera beats it out. Like, I don't think, depending on like comparing it to any other cameras with this kind of form factor, if you factor in the Canon R5, to be honest, this is better. What this camera is amazing at, kind of like, you know, it's magic at this point, is the low light. This camera's low light is so good. Like, based on Gerald Undun's review of this, for sure it is true that on 12,800 the noise cleans up. So at 640 it starts, the first base ISO, and the second one is 12,800, and boy did we shoot mostly in that ISO, and my god, is this a performer in low light. I mean, even if I wanted to go above 12,800, I did not freak out seeing, oh, the noise is crazy. There is noise, but the thing, that noise is so fine. The colors don't rip apart. The noise is handleable. It is easier to remove in post. Just shoot whatever you want. Shoot with moonlight for what I care. And let's talk about another elephant in the room, the autofocus. My god, in the showreel, when we used this camera as autofocus with all those main 3 lenses that had the autofocus, my god, it's magical. It locks onto onto your eye, and just like it stays there, and there is no issue with the autofocus. It's like so reliable in the dark, in very bright conditions. It just stays put, and I was really impressed with how in the dark conditions it could still see you and capture your eye. My god, like the things we could do with this, it saved us so much time. 120 4K FPS, only a like what 10% crop. It's negligible. I don't have any issues with the crop situation, even with the active steady shot, although it does not work in 120 FPS, but the active steady shot is amazing. The 4K 120 is spectacular. It is amazing to work with. There is no degradation in the quality of the footage, which mostly with cameras it happens. The GH5 definitely does. The A7 III is same, but not with this. The files are big. The files are absolutely big. I mean, you should know you're gonna be handling large file sizes, but you're also gonna be handling very heavy files on your computer. They stutter on my 16-inch MacBook Pro. It's an i9. It's 5500M graphics. The 8GB one is a spec'd out one. It's a 1TB SSD. And man, my computer, just the fans kick out because, well, guess what? It's not M1. My final impressions on this is it's a wonderful camera for filmmakers. This is the camera to shoot with. This is a camera to do anything you want. This is gonna stay with you without an issue for the at least I don't think you need to change it for the next 4 or 5 years. 5 years later, after the A7S II this comes out, and to be honest, that camera was still amazing and still is, but this takes it to a whole other level, and I am proud to have used this. Best camera of 2020. Probably might be even the best camera of 2021. I don't know what the future holds for cameras right now, but this year was a major revolution, evolution, whatever you like to call it. It was the renaissance for cameras again this year, and yeah, 2020 was insane, crazy, and don't know what it's gonna bring in by the time it ends, but definitely it brought in great cameras. I hope you like this filmmaker style review of things. Other than that, I'm kind of gonna be focusing more on YouTube videos and everything, and kind of bringing you more educational and more knowledgeable content that is gonna help you make decisions concerning film production, media production, advertising, all this stuff. We're gonna be collaborating more concerning media production, me and my team, with Ananas Media Productions, which is the baby of Abdullah Layan, and I am interested to see how we work together to kind of like eventually do some projects and actually go from renting to buying this thing. This is going to be our first investment. So until then, wish me luck that I'll actually get my own. So I'm excited to jump ship. Goodbye GH5. It has been a great ride. You've helped me in amazing spots. You've got me to where I am, but I guess it's time to get to the next phase of life. Take care, guys. See you soon.